My studio is called Barel Studios. What we do is what we call we do live action graphic novels. So what that means is we shoot all our books as if they're film sets. Shoot everything like every panel like a film, and then through a fusion of digital and traditional illustration, you get really cool, cinematic, very lifelike books and very lifelike images.
But does that mean that you draw it, then you shoot what you're drawing?
No, it's actually backwards. We shoot it, and then I draw what I shot. So we kind of like, we write out our script as if we're doing a film shoot. We cast the actors. Sometimes we go to locations. Sometimes we shoot on green screen. Costumes, props, whatever we need. Let the actors kind of play out a little bit. Because it's a very real, natural performance for everybody. So it's just like, trying to capture a real performance on film. We shoot everything on digital stills. And then after I get all these collection of images, I can then go lay them out, manipulate them, and then start the illustration process. It sounds very complicated, but the post-production, process of it is a little bit different. So what you're getting, the additional, work that comes on the front end sort of makes it a little bit easier on the back end, being as we already have the images and stuff going to base on. So it's just a totally different thing, different process.
Yeah.
We don't shoot video. Video poses a bunch of problems. You have limited resolution, and you get someone who does this in the background, you get a smear and whatever. So we do shoot on stills because it's much higher resolution, and we're able to capture the perfect image. We can also, it's much easier to say, all right, well, I like this character from this image, and I like that character from that image. Let's put them together and create a scene. My partner and I, Jordan, we're both screenwriters. I'm a filmmaker. I'm a director. But even that I came at from a different angle. I have my master's in design from the School of Visual Arts back in New York. So I have a lot of training in design, which I use to get into film. And which is funny because when getting into film, this is how we started the company. So we had an idea for a movie that we wanted to make, and said, "Wow, that'd make a really cool comic book. Let's go out and make one." And we thought we were going to make a comic book as a pitch book, and that's how we kind of came up with our story. Our style was, oh crap, well, how are we going to make a comic book? Let's figure it out. Let's use what we know. Let's use the film. Let's use the design aspect and create this new style. And we brought it to New York Comic Con back east, and fans loved it. We sold 1,000 books in a weekend, and it was, it's really great to get that kind of response. And it's also really cool personally to be able to take the film, take the design, take the illustration, bring it all together and create a product, especially something that wins awards and that fans really are into. To a certain extent, you're limited to the images that you capture, right? When you're doing a straight illustration, you're limited only by your imagination. So what the fun is, it is a challenge, but it's also a lot of fun, is to say, all right, well, I only have this collection of images. How can I take what I have and still, reach the scope of my imagination? How can I still say, well, I have this image here and I have that image here. How can I put them together or change them or manipulate them to get to tell the story that I want to tell at the highest level that I want? We've gotten so much better at doing the shoots. My very first comic book, my very first issue, regular comic book, God, I don't know, it took us probably 9, 10, 15 days to shoot it, which is ridiculous. Whereas Brielle And The Horror, my latest graphic novel, the last 150 pages that I did last summer, I shot it all in 3 days. So you get to a point where you know what you need and what you don't need. And also at the same time, how perfect it has to be or how not perfect it has to be. We used to light things very particularly, and then I realized I don't really need to do that. I need to light it so I can see it, and then lighting afterwards as well, if I want it dark or I want more contrast to do whatever, I do that later in post. You realize that costumes don't need to be as elaborate, things like that. Sometimes you don't even need as many actors because you have people change their costumes around or give them, mustache or beard or whatever, and all of a sudden they're new characters. The book that we're just putting out now is it's called Brielle And The Horror. It's a 200-page self-contained live-action graphic novel. The story's about a 16-year-old girl, Brielle, who's born with a demon inside her. And as she's getting older, this thing's coming to the surface. She's got to learn how to control it and arise a new kind of hero before it brings about the end of the world. So she's kind of like the hero and the villain in one character. It's really cool. Like I said, it's been a really highly reviewed book. The Sketchy Awards granted us Best Graphic Novel, won the LA Book Festival Wild Card category, and Design of the Year. And we're up for a whole bunch of other ones that we're crossing our fingers for. It's pretty cool for us to be here, actually, because I'm from New Jersey, from like 20 minutes outside Manhattan. And, I'm used to exhibiting back east, so I do New York Comic Con, Wizard World Philly, those kinds of shows. So it's really cool. It's a really exciting thing for me to be able to come out to Anaheim, to the LA area, and on the West Coast. It exposes me to a whole new fan base, and I've never been here before, so I'm never sure exactly what I'm going to get into coming to a new con. You wonder, are there going to be enough people here? Are they going to be interested in what I do? Do they like it? Maybe this market hates what I do, and we've gotten a really great response. So people are really excited about what we're doing. We've made a whole mess of new fans and stuff. So it's really exciting.